Once, a footballer grabbed a live camera, fell to his knees, and begged his own country to stop a war. They listened. Tonight, his nation walks out for a World Cup, and someone is kneeling in the stands. Last time, we predicted the Netherlands and Japan would draw 2-2. Total football against the samurai. Tonight, two nations who have never once met collide for the very first time. Welcome back to World Cup 26 Legends, Episode 15. Ivory Coast versus Ecuador. The elephants and the mountain. And stay with me, because in the second half, the man who always scores does it again, when his team needs it most. First, the history, and this one is true. In 2005, Ivory Coast reached their first World Cup, and their captain made a plea the world never forgot. Live on television, Didier Drogba and his teammates dropped to their knees. "We beg you," they said, "lay down your weapons. A country at war listened." 2 years later, he had a match moved to the rebel city of Bouaké. Soldiers from both sides watched football side by side. Ivory Coast won 5-0. The newspaper headline the next morning: 5 goals erase 5 years of war. That is what this shirt carries. And tonight, for the first time in history, that shirt meets Ecuador. Ivory Coast, Les Elephants, champions of Africa, crowned at home. Power, pace, and flair in every position. Their captain, Frank Kessié, is the engine, all muscle and will in midfield. On the wings, Simon Adingra and Diallo run like the lights have been switched off behind them. With Nicolas Pepe, this attack can hurt anyone. Champions who know how to win the close ones. But across the line waits a different kind of strength. Ecuador, La Tree, forged in the thin air of Quito, nearly 3,000 meters up, where visitors gasp and the home side just keeps running. They reach this World Cup with the meanest defense of all, only 2 defeats in 18 games. At its heart, Moises Caicedo, the destroyer who shields everything behind him, with Caicedo Hincapié and William Pacho, a wall built of stone. And up front, enter Valencia, the man who simply scores at World Cups again and again. So here is the duel: Ivory Coast's flair against Ecuador's wall. The fastest wingers in the group against the calmest defenders in the world. Our prediction, built on African power, on Andean discipline, and on one striker who never misses his stage. Watch. Ivory Coast come first, in waves. Adingra burns the line, the cross fizzes in, and the elephants strike. 1-0. But you cannot panic the mountain. Ecuador slow the storm, pass it back to calm, and wait for their moment. And it comes. A Caicedo turnover, a break, the ball drops to the man it always finds. Enter Valencia, of course, 1 touch, 1 finish, and 1 all. One apiece at the whistle in our story. The champions brought the fire. The mountain refused to fall. A first meeting nobody wins and nobody forgets. Do you agree? Comment elephants if Ivory Coast's flair wins the group. Comment altitude if Ecuador's wall is the one nobody can break. And the man kneeling in the stands? Legend number 15, the Peacemaker. He carries a small ball everywhere. The ball that once did what armies could not. He taught a divided country to sit and watch together. Tonight, his elephants play on. Collect him inside the game. Which brings us to you. At WorldCup26.world, pick 3 of the 48 nations, and every goal they score scores for you. Free to play, live prize pool, underdogs pay triple, like Ecuador tonight. Hit like, send this to the friend who still thinks football is only a game, and subscribe. The legends are only beginning.